go, Shrek! Come on, give me a kiss.
People love my blowjob face.
It's a dictionary of dicks. What's wrong with this?
And mostly when I play, I'm like, I'm blowing shit up.
We have a self-jerking machine.
That's hot.
Aw, Mario, stop touching me. I'm your brother Luigi.
Pre-recorded live from across these great United States. Sometimes like to play with other things, but let's play with ourselves. Hey everybody, it's me, SuperPaulGames, and I'm joined by the amazingly awesome Gamerpixie. Hi, Gamerpixie.
Hi, Paul.
I was just pooping a little bit. How are you doing?
Well, after that grateful news, I am doing pretty well. We kind of did a pre-recording, I don't know what you'd call it, talking session to get ourselves all ready for the big episode. This is episode number 8, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
That's as excited as I ever get about anything, so.
Yeah! Oh.
Unless I'm at a sporting event, I don't do that. I'm not like, yay, Tigers. The sporting event, I get really excited. I'm like, yeah, people, I'm watching play. You do it.
And then, I imagine you go there, and then you're like, yeah, and you got a beer, and then when you're out of beer, you're like, oh, this is an okay game. You're like, this is fine. I mean, you know, it'd be better with some barley.
I went to a ball game a couple weeks ago because I had family in town. I don't think I talked about this in the last podcast. And I was really grumpy at someone, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to have a beer and have a good time. So as I'm drinking the beer, because I didn't have any food in my system at first, just as the game went on, I'm like, this is getting funner and funner. And it was, though, because, ironically, the more I drank, the better the team played. I wish there was always a correlation like that, but...
That'd be pretty cool if, like, the coach drank, and then the whole team was like, oh my god, coach is drinking again, and then they play really, like, well.
Either that or it sounds like an abusive family. Oh, no, coach is drinking again.
We really gotta try, and then, like, I guess if you lose, he, like, pulls you in the back.
They call you shortstop because you got a short dick. Why do you suck at shortstop? Oh, he's drunk again.
Come on, coach. Come on, don't be like that.
That actually sounds like my Tug Dick LPs a little bit, but...
Oh, dude, I am so tempted to start an LP of that, like, just try to.
I wanna watch that!
Well, I don't know, like, I don't know if I can do it justice, because honestly, I don't know if I have any more to add. I love your Tug Dick videos, I really do, and I kind of...
Sorry, that sounds
I know,
so
that
dirty
sounds
like
wrong,
that.
like, I like www.superpaulgamestugdickvideos.com. There's no copyrighting
Memberships
in that.
are really cheap this month.
That's how you get people in, you have it really cheap, and then like, people want it. That's economics, right? In demand, higher money brand. I was trying to... Higher demand, got more grands.
I have some people like that, though, where I watch them LP a game I love, and then people are like, you should LP it. And I'm like, I can't do the game justice. They've already done more than I can do.
Pretty much, that's how I feel too. And like, I don't know, like, I don't know if the world is ready for James Dye, which is my character's name. He's hot, he's young, he's got a big butt, he's also a serial killer and a woman strangler, so I'm not sure if the world's ready for it yet. I mean, Tug Dick is the drunk, but...
That character is way more interesting than Tug Dick already right there.
I don't know, like, it's... I have the right attitude, I'm just not sure if, like, you know, sometimes you're like, yeah, I can do this, and as soon as you hit record, it's just... It's not there anymore. I don't know.
I have had days like that, yes.
It's very odd, though, isn't it? Because you're like, no, like, maybe it's just maybe you're too inside your head, which I love when people say that.
Sorry for I have that more with streaming, where I have like a window, and if I don't stream within the window, I'm done. I'm like, I want to stream tonight, and then the window passes. I'm like, no, I don't want to. It's like a launch window.
Dude, that's me with recording, and I don't know if it's because, like, I don't know if I mentioned I have bipolar disorder, but I have bipolar disorder.
That's very patriotic with the 4th coming up.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm excited about that. Just had to put that out there. I'm not a communist. I don't hate America. I'm really excited for fireworks and hot dogs.
Is that because you were watching my stream last night where I was hunting communists?
I did. I noticed the beautiful... You're like, yeah, we found the blimp, and then you just die. I'm teasing you by the way. I don't regularly play Grand Theft Auto, but when someone gave me the controllers and they were like, oh, just mess around, I was like, whoa, these controls, they're good, but if you're not used to them, which you are, I don't know, but they're weird. You're controlling like a meat sack. It's odd.
Real life is like that too, though.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm easier to control than...
I don't know. I haven't tried. Where's your controller?
That could be like kinky and like creepy. It's both. There you go.
I meant it in a silly way. You're like, that's kind of kinky and creepy, hon. Probably shouldn't say that with your outside voice.
With your outside voice? What's your inside voice sound like?
I like to control her.
Oh, dude. I can't. I want to do that voice, but I can't. I just hide in the shadows. Someday I'll do the drunkard voice like Paul does. Someday.
So what else is new with you? Anything?
God. Well, besides the stuff we talked about before we started recording, Gamerpixie has a nice wasp problem, and it's really driving me crazy, and it's making me mad. Basically,
No, like the flying wasps or white Anglo-Saxon Protestants? Like, there's a lot of Mormons, like, walking around your neighborhood. I'm technically a wasp, too, though. I'm not Mormon, but...
Wasps, like the insects, are a lot easier to identify than the Mormons, I guess.
You get in more trouble, though, if you, like, poison the kind of wasp I am, as opposed to the flying ones, though.
Well, God, now I know about another thing I can hate, I guess.
Thanks. I love you, too.
Oh, no, don't worry. I wouldn't poison you with telling you. When I walk up to the wasps, I tell them, I'm saying, you're gonna die, motherfucker. And then he's like, ugh, a little wasp body, ugh. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I should feel bad for you, but you're a total asshat. That's how kids, whenever you go out and kill nature, you need to say that, yeah, I might feel bad for it, but you're a dick, and then you'll feel a little less bad.
Is that the version of honoring its spirit? You're like, as long as I mention it, it's alright.
Yeah, well, I do the whole, like, I'll kill enough, and if they leave, I'll let them leave, and that's how I respect nature. Because nature is beneficial in almost all areas. Okay, sorry. I was waiting for you to make a joke about areas, but you're scratching your eye, so I was like, you okay?
Yeah, I was just thinking about when you're, like, in all areas, I was gonna be like, what about diseases?
Well, I guess diseases at the time controlled certain populations. Yeah, they're annoying and stupid, but, I get, anyway, new with me, wasps are giving me hell. Thought they were just wasps, and now I realize they're hornets and yellow jackets, and Gamerpixie's got kind of a phobia with them, so she's upset. That's what's new with me. Also, I work 5 days in a row this week, so that's cool.
My new stuff is trivial compared to that. Mine's all game stuff. I'm like, the Steam Summer Sale is on!
Yay!
I bought Hector Badge of Carnage, which I've been LPing, which is really cool adult humor that's on YouTube. Kitty Powers Matchmaker, where there's like a tranny who has, or it might just be a cross-dresser, who has a dating service, and you get to run that. That's fun. And then I bought Crusader Kings 2, and I've been playing that a lot on my own. I haven't LP'd that.
So much happier new stuff going on with you. I beat Nancy Drew. Now I have to wait for the next one to come out.
The game, or you just beat her?
I
solved the mystery! Solve this, bitch!
Oh my god, I need Ned. I don't understand this.
I don't even know who Ned is.
That's her boyfriend.
She's got a boyfriend? Oh man, all the good detective ladies are taken.
Yeah, Miss Marple and all that. Isn't
she
old as
saggy
shit?
mystery tits.
Yeah, she's cool though. I mean, actually, here's a little question for y'all. Who's your favorite fictional detective? I don't know about a real detective, so I wouldn't know.
Oh god, that's a toss-up either between Jeremy Brett's Sherlock Holmes. Would you like to read or to watch?
You know what? Let's just go with
do both?
Yeah, both. Because I mean, like, there's no Nancy Drew movies, or there's horror movies though, and David Suchet is a knockout. I like that guy.
I would say David Suchet and Hercule Poirot or Jeremy Brett for the ones for watching. Like, I'm tied because they're both awesome.
They are really.
If I had to be for like fictional ones I've read, do you want to guess which one it is for me?
Sherlock Holmes.
Encyclopedia Brown.
What?
Yeah, I used to read those as a little kid. I like
those. That's cute. Well, I mean, like, I don't know anything about that, so I guess what did he solve?
Those are probably like 8. Well, just like those, I think were ancient books even when I had them as a kid. He was just like he had like a detective thing in his garage, and what happens is you read the story. And then they're like, he solved the mystery, how they did it, and then you like flip to the back if you want to try and figure it yourself. You figure it out, and then you flip to the back to see if you're right or not, which is kind of like a cool way that they present things.
Actually, really cool. That sounds more like a activity book though than an actual book. Was it
it's a real book?
No, you know what I mean, though. I mean, like, chapter 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, it's actually... Oh, I don't know where I have them. They're probably packed up somewhere, because I probably still have them somewhere.
Oh,
but...
that's awesome. Did you ever read The Hardy Boys?
I read, I think...
Those books are horrible, by the way. Old Nancy Drews and Old Hardy Boys are they're horrible books, but they're fun.
Did you ever read Choose Your Own Adventure books?
Fuck, no, I haven't. What?
Choose Your Own Adventure books basically is you read something and they're like, do you want to go left or right? And then you turn to a page corresponding to whichever decision.
Oh my god, that sounds like a super old like game you have on the Commodore 64 with commands and shit.
Well, they're actually twine games like that. It's kind of like a visual novel, but it's just text.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how. Maybe my mom got them or something when I was a kid. There were some that had Nancy Drew in them. There were some with the Hardy Boys and some with both of them.
Oh,
so those were like the
wow.
only kind of things I read like that. So.
Wow, that's really cool though. Yeah, I only read like you go in the library and they have like the freaking yellow books and then the blue books for fucking Hardy Boys.
Sorry, I think it's pronounced library.
Library?
Sorry,
Could have
no, you're
sworn
right.
it's library.
You're right. Please continue. I was just...
Oh, dude, wait. You know, sometimes I pronounce things like not wrong, but
No, you're right. I was just being dumb.
You're not being dumb. You just got me. You got me distracted. Is it Parmesan or Parmesan?
Parmesan.
Parmigiano. Pepperoni. Mozzarella. I wish I could, like, go to one end of the yard, preferably the one that's not next to my house, and just go, mozzarella, pepperoni, nessa pizza. And then all the wasps would be like, what is that guy talking about? And they fly over to investigate. And then I'd just stand there with an aerosol can and a fucking lighter, and then probably risk burning my entire neighborhood down. But, you know, at least I could
Do you have,
say.
like, a vest and Steve Punk? I don't understand steampunk. It's made by a guy named Steve, right? Steampunk? I love steampunk fashion.
Just like a guy wearing Gap stuff, and then he's just kind of an ass. Like, he doesn't, he gets out of a restaurant, but he doesn't push his chair back into the table. He's a punk.
I was gonna say steampunk, like, goggles. I just imagine you with that, like, a crazy top hat, and like, as you batten them all.
Oh, yeah, and then I jump into my fucking, like, I don't know, jalopy / air balloon and fly away. Or a blimp.
Or Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
You know, they made a movie about that, but I don't know if it was any good.
Yeah, it's an alright movie. It's got Dick Van Dyke in it.
What? Oh, I love it, Dick Van Dyke. Is he doing a fake-ass accent?
No, I don't think so. It's been a long time since I've seen that, though.
Do you know, speaking of cars, wait, was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, like, alive? Was it a conscious car?
I think so. I think it was like Herbie. I mean, it seemed to do things on its own, I think. I don't
know.
I don't remember. Maybe not. Maybe Dick Van Dyke just pulled the levers. It was a long time since I watched it.
I've never actually seen it, but I know the song, and I did see the label of the movie. But, yeah, I saw Herbie a long time ago, and I watched the Lindsay Lohan Herbie, and it was weird. They were making sex jokes with the cars, and I was like, ha ha ha. Hollywood, you're being weird again. It was weird. Like, Herbie was looking at a new bug, Volkswagen. It was yellow, and it was one of those, like, oh, look, it's got the flower rims, little flower design. And it was, like, playing music like, yeah, da, 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 and there's, like, steam and, like, a backlight. And I know it was supposed to be funny, but it just came off being kind of weird. And then the windows steamed up where Herbie's windows were, and then he like somehow, I don't know how he did this, but he somehow like put a heart, kind of drew a heart through the steam and stuff, and then you hear the iconic record stopping sound, that and then Lindsay Lohan leans in, she's like, he's too young for you, and then he like looks really sad, and I'm like, that was weird.
Did you stand up and you're like, pedophilia car?
No, I mean, I was sitting in... I had interesting friendships when I was a kid. I was 12 years old, and my friend was 11, and her little sister was, well, I don't know, 8, doesn't really matter, but her mom would constantly make us sit in those, like, miniature table sets, and I felt really dumb about it. So I didn't stand up, but I did quietly contemplate how weird it was. Also, if I said anything bad about Disney, my head would be cut off, so, gotta keep that on the low and low.
See, how did Herbie do that? If you really think about it, the only other parallel I can think of would be Christine, the possessed car from Stephen King. So maybe Herbie's possessed.
Oh, it could be. Well, see, that's the thing. That's what bothers me. Like, if you can't, like, confirm what it is, like, what's to say that some guy didn't get hit by Herbie and some sort of shaman was like, oh, this dude's soul, he's too fucking pissed, so he can't go to heaven or hell. Or, like, what if there even is one of these things? What if there's, like, taboo, like, you gotta do backflips to get to heaven? But he put a guy's soul in Herbie, and that is Herbie.
I like that. Or I would like the concept if it's like a werewolf. It's like whoever Herbie kills becomes Herbie.
Oh, well, see, that. Well, he'd have to be careful who he kills. That's probably why he doesn't kill a lot of people.
See, maybe that's the only way to free your soul. If you're stuck in Herbie's, kill someone else so their soul has to take your place.
Dude, that is such a Twilight episode thing. Like, Twilight Zone, do you remember? Twilight episode. Yeah, no, but Twilight Zone. I was thinking about the vampire stuff and how I might be misunderstood. But, did you ever see that episode of Twilight Zone where the guys are, like, or girls, people are, like, really fucking good at stuff? They're, like, the best at that. And when they die, they're doing whatever they're the best at, and they're there until someone is better than them. There's a guy who, like, played pool, and he was super good at it, so he was kind of stuck in this, like, purgatory area, like, until someone better came by and beat him at pool, and then he could go to heaven. It was a sad episode.
I never saw that one, unfortunately.
No. Well, did you see the Christmas one? Where he's like, I got a magic sack, ah! And you're like, well, okay.
I say that every Christmas, so...
Aw. Is it true, though?
No.
Oh. Da-na-na, da-na. My mom was singing that this morning. I was like, what the hell, woman? It's 90 degrees out there. Ain't nowhere no close to Christmas.
Speaking of hot stuff that happened recently, did you watch any of the E3 coverage?
No. I'm sorry. I actually got that in your email, too. You were like, we could talk about E3. And I was like, you can talk about E3?
Well, I was excited. Like, the Fallout looks super cool. Fallout 4, like, you can build your own cities and you can build stuff.
I did see that. I saw the trailer for Fallout. I didn't see the E3, like, presentation or anything. But, yeah, that looked pretty nice, actually, I must say.
Yeah, that looks really badass. I wish I had a new PlayStation or computer for it, but...
it will come with time, right?
Yes, that's what I always say in the bedroom, too.
And
the new XCOM looks cool.
Yeah, was that at E3?
They announced it before E3. I don't if they had a video about it at E3. I didn't get a chance to see it.
What else did Nintendo have anything new? Did you catch anything by them?
I don't really follow Nintendo much.
Sinner. No, I'm kidding. That's funny if you're like not really upset about someone sinning, but you were just gonna use it against them, and you're like, sinner.
They do have a new version of Final Fantasy VII that's going to come out, though. The preview looked pretty cool.
I actually saw that, too. Just kind of buzzing around the internet. And I don't know. I liked the original Final Fantasy VII. I'm not sure if I'll give this one a try, because, you know, Final Fantasy may not be my cup of tea, but might as well try it out, right? It does look pretty good, though. I like the graphics.
The preview video I saw looked awesome, so...
Yeah, hopefully they don't ruin it, though.
I showed a friend of mine, and they watched the beginning of it, and they're like, oh, that's New York. I'm like, that's not New York, that's Midgard. They're like, oh my god, I became that guy. I became that nerd.
No, I felt like that in the beginning of this recording, because I was like, oh, I need to get Ned, and you're like, who's Ned? I'm like, Ned is Nancy's boyfriend? I'm like, excuse me? They've been dating for like 86 years.
Oh, did you answer what your favorite, like, TV/movie or book detective was?
No, I didn't. I successfully blocked that sort of question. I dodged it because I didn't want to choose.
You're not going to offend Nancy Drew or someone.
Oh,
They're not
I
gonna
know.
be like...
Well, like, I have different qualification, different standards for different times of the day, different moods. You know, sometimes you want the chocolate, sometimes you want the vanilla. At this point in my life, at this very moment, I could go for a Nancy Drew. I love Nancy Drew. I've been reading tons of her books. They're freaking stupid. Like, you know who the culprit is, and you're like, yeah. You're halfway through the book, and you're like, Nancy, it's that guy. It's that guy over there. And she's like, but it could be this woman. And I'm like, no, it's that guy. Nancy, please. I was reading one of her books, and the newer ones, not the older ones, because the newer ones are just, oh my god. The old ones, they're cheesy, you know? But the new ones, oh my god, they are so cheesy. Because they're trying to implement, like, she pulled out her cell phone and she dialed it. Whereas in the old ones, it's, you know, they have rotary telephones and all that. But they're trying to be hip in the new ones. So they're more cheesy and dated, actually. But yeah, I was reading one a couple of weeks ago. And, this woman was tied up and Nancy found her. It was, like, some lady. They knew each other. And she was like, oh, gosh, like, I gotta untie her. So she's trying to untie her as hard as she can. And, like, the rope is just very tight and very coarse. And I'm like, Nancy, you have a pent knife. And the paragraph goes on, and she's trying to untie it. I'm like, Nancy, you have a pent knife. You totally fucking pulled it out 2 chapters ago. It's still in your pocket. I know it. And then another paragraph later, she's like, and then I realized I had a pent knife. I was like, Nancy. So right now, I love Nancy. But if I only had one person to read on Earth, like, it'd be Sherlock Holmes. Without a doubt. I love those books. I don't know. Especially since if you see the Jeremy Brett series of that, and then you go back and read the books, like, when you have that image in your brain, it just makes them all the more fun. Did you see the Lord of the Rings movies?
Yes.
Did you read the books after you watched the movies?
I read the books long before as a kid. So.
Oh, okay. Well, it's weird. I don't know if this happens to you, but when someone does a good job at, like, adding an image to, like, a story, when you revisit the story, to me anyway, it's, like, 10 times more enjoyable than before. Because I read, Lord of the Rings before I saw the movies, and then I saw the movies and I read Lord of the Rings again, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome, because you can see what everyone looks like and that sort of thing. I love it. I'm such a geek. Mamma mia. Mamma mia, such a geek.
No, I totally agree with you on that. Especially with Jeremy Brett. That's always who I see as Sherlock Holmes now since this stuff.
Seriously. Well, like, I've watched other older stuff. Like, I don't watch the new Sherlock Holmes show. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. A lot of people... I don't watch a lot of new things, and not because I don't like change. I just don't really go for... This is gonna sound weird, but I have a hard time enjoying new things because... I don't know, they're just going to become dated so quickly because usually they're just made for the time. You know what I'm saying? They're like, this is this time, we're making it, it's not going to be dated, but then it ends up being dated, where certain material is created and it's timeless. Kind of like the Sherlock Holmes things. Like, yeah, they're dated, but they're not. They're actually timeless because they're enjoyable to view at any time. Whereas, you know, like, Seinfeld's still enjoyable, but it is really dated.
Well, that is, 20 years ago now?
I think so, yeah. I don't know.
90s?
Yeah, the early 90s almost, right? I feel like Elaine Bennett's hair should, help me understand what time that was. Her hair was super curly and super poofy. And it looked nice.
Archaeologists, they study bones to date things and use radiocarbon dating. In the future, archaeologists will use hairstyles. They'll be like, I can tell by the hairstyle. It's 1982.
It's true, though. I mean, come on. You look at an old photo, if you're going to see a woman with, it looked like she got her perm interrupted, you're going to be like, yeah, this is fucking 70s or 80s, you know?
Yeah, there's old ones of, family members of mine, like my mom or whatever, with a perm, and, that's definitely the 80s.
Pretty much. And then you can look at it again, and, the pictures where they're all wearing those fucking, button-up, super, canvas dresses with the little doily, what are they called? Collars. And their hair is combed and kind of slipped back, and they're all sitting in the photo. It's black and white, and they're scowling. You know that's the 20s or something.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Suits, because, whenever you watch really old baseball footage, on film, it's like people went to church when they go to a ball game, they're all, dressed up in suits and shit. I'm like, that would be cool.
Dude, it's crazy, right? Because, they would always wear, really nice hats or something. People dressed up back then. I mean, they dress up now, but it was different. The standard was if you weren't wearing a suit, then you were a fucking horrible person.
When I go to I don't know anyone when you go out to the ballpark anymore that you dress nice. I was out there, like I said a couple weeks ago, just t-shirts and jeans.
Yeah, and you know why? Because that's better, too, because you're comfortable, and, you get to eat trashy food and not worry about it. Because if I went to a ball game with $300 suit, I would not be sitting down. I would stand up in a corner and then not eat anything. Because I probably rented that suit and needs to go back to the store.
That would be sad if you're like, I gotta rent a suit so I can go to the ball game.
Yeah, it would be really sad. And I just imagine everyone else around me is wearing shorts and shit. And I'm like, well, thanks. Enjoy yourselves in front of me. That's nice. Speaking of that, I mentioned earlier in my Let's Plays that it's hot as hell here, and I'm sitting here sweating right now talking to Paul, and almost as if it's taunting me, I can hear my neighbor's air conditioner running.
Is that what I hear in the background?
That's my computer having a fucking heart attack because it's really hot in here. That's another thing, if you watch my videos, you will notice very soon, is you can hear my computer going, oh my god, put me in some water, and I'm like, that will kill you, and it's like, I don't care, because it's so freaking deaky hot. No, when I have my window open, I can hear their AC, and it's like,
Did you just go over there and stare in their window and drool like, it's so cool in there, I bet?
No, I don't have to. I just hear the sound and I feel pain. I'm like, oh man. Oh, there's sweat dripping off my chin right now, so tell me a story that will cool me down. Please.
How about I cool you off with some sexy questions?
Ooh, I don't know. This is gonna make me hot. Unless, you know, like the devil and Dante and it freezes over and stuff.
Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe they're not sexy. Let's see.
Not sexy. Damn it, you guys. Send us more sexy questions, okay?
Don't get me in trouble, though. Don't be too sexy.
Come on, if you're too sexy, we'll get jealous.
Who are they writing that to? Are they writing it to someone else? What's going on, man? Master Ian Gamer says, still love the podcast. Somebody loves the podcast.
Well, thanks
Thank
for
you.
still loving us.
At least there's one.
Yeah.
New question. If you could go back in time and prevent yourself from playing a specific game for any reason, what would it be and why?
That is a very difficult question because I don't regret any of the bad experiences I've had. So.
I do.
Oh, you do? What games would you not want to play?
Ghostmasters.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah.
Like, when I played Star Wars The Phantom Menace, that game was horrible, but at least when I look back, there's funny moments with how crappy it is.
Yeah.
Where I'm screaming and yelling.
Yes.
Ghostmasters was one of those games where it was fun for 2 episodes, and then after a while it became this horrible grind. It became one of those games, and I'm sure Gamerpixie can agree with me, that sometimes you start a game, and then after a while you just dread it. It's like going to work, like, you're like, I don't want to do this, but I started the series, I don't want to let people down, and it was like that. And even now when I think of it, it gives me anxiety. I'm like, oh, I don't want to ever play that game again. And I think part of it is because you finish the game, and you think it's done. You think it's done. There's like the last, like, the game is done, or is it? And then they're like, here's a bonus level if you want to. I'm like, what?
Calling did that too. Remember, it was like, this is the ending, but it's not really the ending. So.
The Calling was worse, though. The Calling was this, like, Japanese horror game Gamerpixie did, and it was like, you played through the whole thing. Would you like to play through it again as a different character?
You're like, no, but you do, because people said they wanted it.
That's where you're too nice. You're like, do you want me to? And I didn't say yes, because I didn't know you that well anyway. I was like, no, I wouldn't wish that on her. And
you didn't
someone's
say
like,
yes, because you didn't know me that well. That's usually how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, but once again, I do not wish that I would forget playing that. Because I said every crappy experience that I've had, it's a treasure trove of learning or some sort of fun experience. I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm kind of going to screw this question around a little bit. If there was a game that I could go back and forget that I played it and why, I wish I forgot that I played Fallout 2 and 3 and Twilight Princess, because I'd really like to go back and experience them for the first time again, because they're so nice. But that's me being squirrely. If I had to pick a game that I was like, I wish I never remembered playing it or played it again, was probably Superman 64.
I like your other answer, though. You know, sometimes you come up with an answer, and then somebody else comes up with an answer, and you're like, I want that one. Like, I like that. There are games I would love to experience again for the first time.
Yeah, because, like what? Which ones would you like to re-experience?
Fallout 3, Back to the Future, yes.
Yeah. I knew you would say that. I was like, I'll know this. This is...
Actually, I hadn't even thought of that, but then when you said it, I'm like, yes, that one.
Yes, give me more, yes. Yeah, that's me too. Like, Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, I so wish I had not played that game. Or I wish I don't remember playing that game, because great game. And all the flaw-outs. That's the new games. No, okay, sorry. Fallouts. Adorable. And almost every Nancy Drew game ever, like... I would love to re-experience it. It's, God, because do you remember those times when you first experienced something and you're like, whoa, and you're just wonderment. So, I mean, that's probably not the answers you wanted, but dude, that's something. I give you an answer.
I like that. I mean, I like in Fallout 3 when you get out of the vault finally, because when you're in the vault, it's like a normal. It's kind of like a normal game. It's cool. It's got to go.
It's pretty
once
linear
you get out,
too. So,
once you get out of the vault, and it's this huge, wide open, alternative America that you can go wherever you want and do almost anything you want. It's just so cool.
It is cool. It's that nice like wonderment of just like you're being introduced to something. I just thought of a game though, like that I really didn't appreciate playing ever. So it's like I don't mind going back in time and just not remembering that I played it. And why? Because it's a horrible game. It's that Tomb of the Lost Queen for the Nancy Drew series. I love that series. That was a game that I was like, what the fuck you do here? Her Interactive, the company that makes it. I'm like, you're ruining our relationship. I can't trust you anymore to make good games. How could you? So I did have a little standing on the edge because of that game, and I haven't played it since. I don't really remember that much about it, but I remember it enough that I know it was bad, so I kind of wish I never played it.
That feeling is how I felt when Grand Theft Auto 4 came out. I was like, Rockstar, what happened to you?
Yeah,
no.
You're like, why? And it's sad too, because like I played that game and I was like, you know what, I can forgive him, because the games after that I thought were pretty good. There's a couple of hit or misses, but they weren't as bad as that. But I still have that sort of like, it's like a scar. You have this little scar with this company. You're like, I know you're capable of shit because you showed me.
I didn't get GTA 5 forever. Like, it came out, and I waited a long time to get it because of 4. Because I was like, no, I liked 3, I loved Vice City, I loved San Andreas. That was one of my favorites of all time when it came out. And then 4 came out, and I'm like, no, and everyone's like, you gotta get 5, it's good again. And then finally, when it got down in price, I did, and I was like, oh, you guys are right, they really did get good again.
Dude, isn't that funny, though, how, like, the littlest... I mean, it's not really a littlest thing. Like, you spend your money where there's quality, or in your opinion where quality is, so it isn't, that crazy. But it's funny how much like it moves you sort of like emotionally. You're like, well, what the fuck, man, like I love the series of games they brought me joy, now you just fucked it up, like, well, come on. And you kind of you don't trust them anymore. It's like weird.
Well, it's like a film franchise when they like ruin the series and you're like, what the heck, what have you done here? No. Yeah,
pretty much. Like, yeah, actually this is pretty much the same thing. Yeah, you were saying, like, it took you forever to get Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm a nerd, okay? I always pre-order the Nancy Drew games so I get the bonus editions. And I was so fucking ticked with them about that game that I did not pre-order stuff. Like, I didn't pre-order the 3 games after that, which I feel kind of bad because they were really, actually ended up being really good games, so I didn't get the bonus editions or anything, but that's how mad I was. I didn't spend the extra $10 because I was like, I already got cheated out of you guys before. Like, you got my $10 and you gave me shit. I ain't gonna spend $10. So.
What do you get on a Nancy Drew game for a bonus?
Really dumb stuff. That's why I'm a geek. Bonus material usually means concept art, certain audio not files, but audio dialogues that you can access during gameplay, that, someone who has the regular edition wouldn't get. There's also these really stupid, I don't buy it for this reason, but you can collect in-game phone charms, which is just not really a good incentive for me to buy those. I usually buy them for the concept art and the hidden dialogue. Yeah.
Did you say there was like a chocolate bar or something in one?
Oh, yeah! Yes! No, there's... Okay, sorry, you got me excited, yes. No, they had this thing going that they were like, if you pre-order this game, the first 500 people to pre-order this game will get a Cocoa Kringle bar. If you don't know what a Cocoa Kringle bar, it's a chocolate bar that's seen throughout the series in the game. They have 32 games. And it's almost seen in all of them, like, going back from the fucking first game that was made in, like, 1998 or whatever. I have all of them, so I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna get this chocolate bar. So I pre-ordered one of their games, and it turned out I wasn't the first 500, and I was like, oh, what a bummer, because I love this company. And then they did this thing, they're like, well, we have a back order, or not back order, they had overstocked on chocolate bars. So we're like, if you spend $30 on, online merchandise from our store, we'll send you a fucking Cocoa Kringle. And I was like, well, shit, man, because I was still kind of on the fence with them, and I was like, oh god, I ain't gonna give you my money. What are you trying to do? And then when they said, we'll give you a Cocoa Kringle bar, I was like, okay, well done, Her Interactive, you know how to market, because I bought $30 worth of fucking stuff off their website, stuff that I didn't actually need. It was for digital downloads too, which is unfortunate because they have a merchandise store where you can get stuff that you saw in the game printed on mugs and shit. Oh, Paul, look at my priorities.
I think it's cool for people to get to learn the super fan you are, because you don't usually like LP Nancy Drew games.
No, I don't. Cool. Yeah, which I would love to play more Nancy Drew games, but I want to LP the older ones, and Fraps does not detect them, so that's kind of going to be a thing to figure out. But anyway, so I ordered stuff, digital downloads that I didn't need, because I love this company so much, I pirated half of their music.
So you're like, I'm going to make it right now by buying the music that I
was like, I'll buy them, because they'll be in HD, whereas the things I got weren't in enough of HD that I didn't give a fuck. I mean, and I'm a quality whore when it comes to music, so... Yeah, I ended up rebuying stuff that I already had. Of course, I pirated. An evil person. But, you know, I was rewarded for doing the right thing. They told me they'd hand me a candy bar if I bought their shit, and they did. A candy bar they did hand me, and I'm such a geek because they put it in this clear film envelope, so you can look through it, kind of protects it, and it looks exactly like it looks in the game, and I framed it. It's actually on my wall right now. I'm looking at it right now, and it's beautiful. There's also a message from Nancy Drew that comes with it that says, "Dear fellow sleuths, something bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Thanks for being with me on my adventures. Stay sleuthy." And I stuck it above the chocolate bar because I'm more enthralled with the chocolate bar than the generic note.
I thought you were going to be like, and I did that. Ever since that day, I did stay sleuthy.
Oh, no. Well, I'm always sleuthy. That's like a part of my genes. That's my middle name. Gamer Sleuthy Pixie. Well, there's my little geeky moment. Here you go.
That's super cool, though. I don't have anything like that because I'm
You're wearing a Reno Aces shirt.
Well, yeah, that's because we were talking about Reno Aces last night. I was like, oh, that's good for the podcast, so... And a viewer sent me this. Like, I can't even afford my own clothes. I have to have viewers dress me. Please don't send me a clown wig, because I'll wear it. I need hats. This is why I don't have a P.O. box, because then I would get a clown wig. I'm like, I'm not wearing that shit.
I don't have a P.O. box because I don't want to pay for one, and I don't think anyone would send me anything. Actually, I think... Oh. No, you were going to say that's sad? Yeah, well, it ain't sad, because, you know, what, they'd probably send me creepy things. But I think, like, you'd get hella cool stuff if you open a P.O. box.
I don't know. I only have a few viewers. You overestimate my audience.
Well, no, like, I send you shit, though.
Yeah, but it's because you're my friend and you're really cool.
Well, maybe there's other people who are willing to be really cool and your friend. Are you going to give them a chance? No? I see how it is. Alright, okay, yeah, okay. Keep going.
I hate people. I hate everyone. No.
That's our introduction to getting on Skype today. I hate everyone. You reply, I'm sorry.
That's my natural thing. I'm just like, it's my fault. I'm sorry.
So what other questions do we got?
Eccentric in Texas, our second and last question. Today's question is, if you had to live for an entire year in any game world, which game would it be?
That's a hard one. Do I want to live in an exciting one, or do I want to live in, like, a pretty simple, you know, not dangerous one? Like, Harvest Moon would be pretty fucking simple, and you could marry some cute girls, I guess. That's cool.
I'm trying hard not to say Back to the Future. That's what
you really want to say that, don't you? What about Mountain Blade?
No! Do you see how often my guy got his ass kicked all the time?
Well, think about it. Like, if you have trouble cutting people's heads off when you're on the horse, I bet you people on horses probably have trouble cutting your head off if you're running around.
I don't know how many times, too, I'd go attack a castle and then someone would shoot an arrow right into my head. Like, I don't want to be in the world where I'm like, alright, oh, arrow in my head, no.
Well, hold on a second. I guess we should be a little more specific. Let's create... We didn't get these details with the question, so we'll create our own details. We'll use the skeleton of Eccentrics in Texas's question. Do we live with the same game logic? So, like, if you die, do you come back? That sort of thing? I don't know. Like,
Even if you can come back, I don't want to feel the pain of having an arrow penetrate my skull repeatedly.
Well, see... Oh, God, you just assume it would happen every day of that year.
I've seen myself play that game. I'm not so good at it.
Well, maybe when you're in the person's body, it's easier.
I would assume, like, how you play it would be like how it would be.
I'm pretty good at all the scary games, so... I don't
I
know.
would say, admittedly, in real life, I'd have an easier time swinging a sword than trying to use a mouse and keyboard to do it. But
would you imagine if you were sitting on the horse in the battlefield and you had your mouse and keyboard on the horse? You might be good at it, I don't know. Shit, that's a hard question. Well, I mean, it's not hard, but at the same time, Paul and I overthink things, so we kind of go like, "Oh, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to say that. Oh my god, no!" Like, maybe a Nancy Drew game. Honestly, like, maybe one of the Nancy Drew games. They're fun. There's mystery. I mean, like, there's some cool places. There's not enough areas though to not make me go insane. You know, like I'm like, oh, I can only visit 4 areas for a year. That sounds awful. It does, right? It's like,
it does. It sounds like some sort of purgatory.
It does. Well, I mean, technically, I guess what we're describing right now is a sort of purgatory, because games are limited, unlike the world, which is unlimited.
I think if we're going to assume game world, though, we're going to assume there's more to it than just the screen.
Okay.
So that's just what you see of the game world. It's like a
Okay.
window into the world.
Then maybe, yeah, Nancy Drew. Maybe one of the Nancy Drew games. I love Silent Hill. I would so say I did it just to say I did it, but living in Silent Hill for a year, like, I don't know. Or, like, even the Resident Evils, like, living, like, that's not even living. You'd be, like, scavenging around the house as zombies get up randomly, like, and you're like, damn it, I could just die and come back, but there's no point.
I have enough anxiety without having to worry about zombies all the time.
I know. Well, actually, if you knew you were like immortal in the sense that you died and came back, you'd probably like have fun and push them downstairs.
Yeah.
And
I'd
stuff.
have fun as they're eating my flesh. Oh, it's okay. I gotta do this again tomorrow. That sounds like hell.
Well, I mean, in the game, you get bitten like 3 times and then
Are
they
you
fall
the
over.
devil? And you're like, it's not bad. Why don't you try and visit? No, I don't want to go there.
It's like immortality and dying all the time. I mean, like, immortality's cool. You gotta cut your hand off or your foot off. Come on. I'm the devil. I'm good at, like, fucking, what's that called? Convincing people to do things.
I'd want to be in a sex game, I think.
You would?
Yeah, why
Sex
not?
every day for a year? I would be like, help me, God, I can't
Well, some
do
of them
it.
you have to work a little bit to get the sex, so...
I'd rather deal with zombies, man. At least I can
Has
go in
sex been
another
that
room.
bad? I mean, like, are you like, well, if I could have sex or zombies, you know, zombies are better. What?
Well, I mean, like, if someone was like, if you had to have sex for every day for the rest of your life, or, like, deal with zombies and be immortal for, like, a year. Oh, wait, no, never mind. The first question, I mean for a year, not for the rest of your life. I'm not sure. Like, I might pick the zombies. Because you can always do things to yourself whenever you want to. I can't believe I just said you can masturbate with zombies.
Not now, zombies. I'm busy masturbating.
Can't wait. Cool, whatever. And then maybe you could find someone who's alive before they become a zombie and be like, hey, you know what? I mean, we're gonna be here. Might as well shake the bacon, right?
Well, I hate to say it, though. What I say in every podcast, though, I still think Back to the Future for me.
Marty, time to go have sex for a year.
No, I don't want to have sex with Doc Brown. It's not a fan fiction.
Don't
It's
think
just
you did the fucking... Will you have sex with Marty?
No.
Marty's a
I'll find a
cute
nice
girl.
girl. That's how it works. Doc found his own nice girl. Marty had a nice girl.
Yeah, he found his mom.
Well,
Remember
she's
that?
nice. She put it out.
Yeah, that's his mom, though, and she's all like, Marty, you're so cute. And he's like,
Yeah, but
ugh.
that's not the one he ended up with. That wasn't the goal.
Well,
wasn't
he
like,
could
yeah.
have. Not worried about this? Not worried that you might go back into the future?
I am
past?
pretty sure I'm not going to go back in time.
What if
and
you
do it
found
with any of my
yourself and you're like,
ancestors.
what's that son of a gun doing
No.
here?
What? Why must you prevent my perfectly natural Back to the Future?
Because
thing?
you want to find a girl and have sex with her in Back to the Future. That's
there
perverted, isn't it?
Well, no, I didn't say just have sex with. It's like
Paul
a couple
wants to
thing.
use
It's
a woman.
romance.
In the future past? So she doesn't
I didn't
remember
say I was going to
it.
use the time machine for sex.
You could go back in time and be like,
I'm your god. Now service my wiener.
Marie Antoinette, you're gonna lose your head anyway, so you might
So
as well
give
make
me
use
some.
of it. Yeah! Woo! Take that. She
I'm
actually
starting to
died.
think you might be the devil. You're like, every day you can be eaten by zombies. Oh, why don't you use the time machine to prey on innocent women? Hey, you're a bad influence.
I'm not... Okay, you... apparently someone's taking some, advice from the devil or looking at my moves and stealing them, because I did not say you would take advantage of women. I said you just talk to them in the Back to the Future and take them. What do you... Look at this. Look at this. He's chip off the old block, trying to be the devil. Marty! The devil's here. Marty, we gotta go find some underage girls, but do it in the past, so in the future they won't be underage anymore.
Well, depending on what time period you live in, the age of consent was different. I'm not saying you go back in time and, like, score with a 14-year-old, but back then, people get married earlier.
Apparently, yeah, you died quicker, though. That's why they got married.
That's not my goal. My goal is not to go back in time and die. I can do that in this time period, so...
Oh, you can go back in time and die in this time period?
I was thinking of fun adventures in time and learning life lessons, and you're like, yeah, go back in time and fuck that chick.
We might as well. I mean, like, just gonna be dead.
That might fuck up the timeline.
Well, it's like, oh, Marie Antoinette had a little on the side before she got her head cut off. Wow, the French Revolution was never the same.
Yeah, but what if you fuck someone else and it changes things?
Well, don't do that. Don't fuck stuff up, literally and figuratively.
You were the one who said go back in time and have incest sex, so...
Incest sex. Now that's I'm putting that down in my little file. I am the devil. Hi. Anyway, so to answer your question, I have no fucking idea. I do like the zombies, like, go in, like, Resident Evil 0, be in the mansion, pleasure yourself sometimes, and then go, like, push zombies down chairs. Or stairs, rather. I don't know why they're standing on chairs.
That would be funny, probably. Because, like, if they're still zombies,
awful.
just you do it repeatedly. Oh, look, it took you an hour to get up the stairs. Oops. Well,
that's the thing, because in the game, it's like, oh, to God, no. You would not want to live in Resident Evil Zero's time, though. They got leech zombies. I gotta do Let's Play that game, because those leech zombies are scary. They slap you when you're far away from them. If you shoot them and their upper body explodes, their hips get really big, like they ate a ton of Krispy Kremes, and they just explode, and leeches get everywhere. Can you imagine that? Just being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get out of the... Ah, my God, there's a leech man! And then he's like, can I leech off of you? But
sorry, once you loan to them, you never get it back.
It's a lemon.
Wouldn't it suck, though, like in the original Resident Evil, if you moved like they did in the original Resident Evil, you're just like...
Well, I gotta admit, I have mastered the shitty-ass controls of Resident Evil, so I'd be well-equipped.
I can only move in giant degree turns of, like, 30 to 45%.
Pretty much. You move like the hands on a clock. You just need to make sure that, you know, you're going at 12 o'clock when the zombie's at, like, fucking 6 o'clock or 5.
When I first played that game, I had the hardest time shooting anything in it.
It is hard to shoot.
It says it was one of the first games with, like, a FMV opening.
Yeah! I forgot about that.
And because of, like, Doggy Hallway, it was, like, one of those first games, too, that was, like, this is super cool.
It is. Actually, I really want to get the original, because I already did a Let's Play of Jill's story. I need to do that Let's Play of Chris's story, and as soon as I figure out how to sit in my room for 10 minutes without melting, I'll do that. But in the original version, did you play as Chris or Jill in the original version?
Chris.
Dude, Chris, literally, there's this part where you kill this, like, plant that's infected with the virus, and you kill it, and he comes out of the room, and Rebecca, who's in that story, she, like, comes up, and she's like, whoa, we did it! And he's like, yeah, you could say we got to the root of the problem. He literally says that, and the voice actor laughs. I really need to get that original game and just Let's Play it for the fuck of it. Like, why not? That's wonderful. I love how old games have, like, really weird moments where you're just kind of like, huh. And they reference things that you're like, wow, that's so dated now.
I was watching Dan's Gaming on Twitch play, I think it was one of the old Witcher games last month. And in the audio clip, like, this lady's talking, and after she records her line, she says something about one of the other actors.
Whoa.
And they didn't cut it out.
Oh, dude, that's so weird. Did they...
she says her line, and then she's like, yeah, and then this guy was delivering it like this. You're like, what? That really ruins your immersion.
That's hilarious, though. I love it, because, like, that's funny you should mention that. I was watching cutscenes to Mortal Kombat 4 for the N64, and there's this part where... And they actually put subtitles to it. It wasn't in the script, and they put subtitles to it. In-game subtitles. Like, or closed captioning, I guess it's the same thing. But Scorpion basically fucks shit up for someone, and he says, rest in peace, something, this guy's name. And then it pauses, and you hear, I swear to God, you hear, all right, because the guy's done delivering his line, so he goes, all right, and they actually put all right at the bottom of the screen. And it's so Scorpion. Scorpion's like, yeah, rest in peace, and then he's like, all right. Like, I'm done.
I like to imagine the guy who did the voice for that, and for Scorpion, that's how he naturally talks.
It's like,
I like a Big Mac! Get it over here!
Come here!
Yes.
You know, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess he grabs the bag, like he does that thing. He drives really fast by the window, and he grabs it with this, like, leech hand thing. I love Scorpion. Actually, if ever you had to spend the day with a Mortal Kombat character from the original, not the newer ones where they have, like, katana and they... Actually, that's not very new, but the original. Who would you hang out with? Would you hang out with Liu Kang or Kano or
Raiden?
Sonya? Raiden? Oh my god, I love
That's
Raiden.
the one. That's the guy I beat the game with.
Oh really?
When I played
I
it, so.
love Raiden. I have a big crush. When I was a kid, I had the biggest crush on Raiden. I really did. Like, I was like, oh my god, he's like some sort of like god of the thunder, and he was really cute. And he had no eyes. It's every girl's dream.
This is why I love doing podcasts with Gamerpixie, because I learn of the female perspective. Because like I'll be like, I love this game, it's kick-ass, and they'll be like, and he's cute, and I'm like, all right, that got girled up.
You're like, I never thought about that, but
Yeah,
no, but
exactly.
he is. And like my mom, it's funny. My mom used to do Kibo, which is a kind of like karate cardio thing, and it's like a group of people do it together, and they would play the Mortal Kombat the album. They would, and like I know Raiden's song, and it's hard to sing. It's like he's like, he lives up in the thunder clouds, he comes down from the sky, he's the master warrior with eternal life, he's the master fighter, stranger in disguise. There's where he's like, the combat king, the best of the best. They're like, oh god, it's like, if you listen to that soundtrack, y'all, and you love Mortal Kombat, or you love cheesy ass 90s music, I promise you will not be disappointed. Also, Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage's last name is Carlton.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's not. His middle name is Carlton. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I thought Cage was his last name, but
Yeah, no. Well, he's like, please welcome in the song. The guy, they're singing about Johnny Cage and how awesome he is, and then in the middle, there's this guy. It's kind of the breakdown of the song before it gets all like with the chorus and the rhythm. And he says, please welcome Mr. John Carlton. And I was like, what? That's cool. I also had a crush on Johnny Cage, too. Not in the movies, though. Did you see the movies? They were god-awful, but they were fun.
I think I saw the first one in the theater because I had some friends who wanted to. I don't think I saw... Did they do others after
Yeah,
that?
they did. It was called Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and it had, fuck, I don't know, like, Raiden was a different dude. I can't remember if in the first one Raiden was played by the guy who was the Highlander. I think so. Wait, who played Highlander? What's the name of that dude? He's got an accent.
Foreigner McGee?
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. No, but whatever, y'all who are listening. I bet you in Centric in Texas knows. He knows everything, I swear to God. It's awesome. But, yeah, that's who played Raiden, and when I was a little kid, I saw Highlander first, so I was like, what? What did you see as a kid, like, that when you were way too young to see, but you were exposed to it early?
I think Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Fuck.
I was like a real little kid, and
I'm trying
I
to
think we had
remember
a
what that is.
babysitter, and she was watching it, and it just kind of like freaked me out.
I saw Hellraiser when I was like 7, the second one.
Have you ever seen any of the Puppet Master movies?
You know what? I think those are one of those things that when I was out of town at Motel 6, I think I did see them.
Well, I only ever saw, I don't remember, it's like 4 or 5 or something. I'd
There's
never
a
seen
ton
any
of them, right?
Yeah, I'd never seen any of them, and I had this friend, and he's like, these are really good movies. We gotta see the
Like,
last one that came
really?
out. And so he rents it out, and it's down the line, it's like 4 or 5 or something, and at this point, they end up like being the good guys, and it's just the stupidest thing ever. And I'm like, what? And then like when we get to watch, he's like, no, the other ones were good, I'm sorry, the other ones were good. Maybe not this one, but...
You're like, it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth for that now.
Horror movies, though, are like
They're
such a
pretty bad.
crapshoot. Though
Yeah.
usually there's a few in the middle, but most are either good or bad. There's very little in between with horror type films.
It really is either hit or miss. I mean, and there's fun stuff to watch. Like, as a kid, I watched a lot of the Stephen King movies. And as a young child, and I was never scared of him, I loved him. I adored It. I thought It was a hilarious movie. because he was like, "Kiss me, fat boy," and you're like, "Oh, the clown's funny," stereotypes.
That's funny. When I was streaming last night and we had the clowns, people were like, "Oh, I'm scared of clowns because of it."
You're like, really? Well, I mean, you know what? Whatever. It's different stuff bothers different people, but I've never been afraid of clowns. I love clowns, but not for the reason that's like the traditional, like, oh, they're funny. I like clowns because they're so they're so freaking ironic. They're there to make children feel happy and entertained, but they make children feel very uncomfortable and scared. They're just so ironic. Like, it's like, no, you're doing the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do.
And I
love them.
And I hate clowns for the
hate
untraditional
clowns?
reason. I hate clowns because they're not funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I come from a comedic background, I was a comedian for a long time, and I'm like, what's this shit? You're not fucking funny. If you were funny, it'd be one thing, but you're not funny. It pisses me off. I'm like, look at me, dude. That was funnier than most clowns. Suck it, clowns.
You did pretty good. I was starting to like that too.
Unrelatedly, like a week from now, I'll probably get jumped by a bunch of clowns and be like, what'd you say, funny boy?
We'd be like, oh, my friend really likes you. My friend really likes you. She's hot too. Okay, cool. I won't kill you. Because they know I like you. And then they'll look me up on Facebook and go like, you're going down, man.
Well, you said you're hot. We do like it when hot things go down.
Shorty got low. That's all I could think of at this time. At this time and place in my life. God. From 5 years from now, I wonder if we'll remember these episodes. Will we be alive?
I don't know if 5 days from now I'm going to remember. Are we going to be alive? That took a dark turn.
Well, I mean, like, is an asteroid going to hit the Earth? I don't know.
I hope I'm alive in 5 years, and I really hope you are.
Aw, thanks. So you're swell. Yeah, but to answer that question originally, because I don't feel like I answered it, one of the Nancy Drew games, because I love Nancy Drew, and every environment she's in is pretty fun, except for that stupid Egyptian one. But Secret of Shadow Ranch. She's on a ranch in Arizona, and they have AC. Nice.
And for me...
And for you...
I'm very repetitive. Exactly,
yeah,
back to the future.
Back to the back. Like, everything you say is, like...
That's what I should have named the podcast. Paul likes to talk about Back to the Future.
We've been pretty good about not, like, talking about it all the time, but your answers are pretty... It's like, Paul, what's your favorite food? Back to the Future.
No, I'm that way. It's like when I go to get Chinese food, I always, I want Mongolian beef. I always order the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
I know what I want.
I love everything, so I'm kind of... I don't know if this makes me lucky, but I love everything, so I'm like, what am I going to get today? I'm going to get the sweet and sour chicken, the freaking... Yeah, Mongolian beef is amazing. Honey walnut shrimp. Holy shit. You died and gone to heaven when you've tried that stuff, and when it's done right. Crab wontons, too. Have you ever had those before?
Yeah, I usually get those when I go out. Those are good.
Oh, God, crab wontons, and they serve them with that, like, sweet... little... What? We did this last night. We were talking about food.
No, I'm laughing because when Gamerpixie and I hang out, or when we text, we almost always have a moment where it's like, you know what is good? This food. And I'm like, yeah, and this food. And she's like, yeah, this food.
We were talking, like, last night, we were like...
Yes.
We were talking about, like, words that make us think of food that are unrelated, though. What were you thinking about that I was talking about? Because I know someone said dog, and I thought corn dog. And I was like, oh, God, I want that. Yeah. But you said, I talked about something, and you, like, thought of a food. I can't remember if it was nachos or what. I could go for nachos, though. Oh, my God. Baby.
I wish we could all go do that right now. Well, do you want to head off and get our own nachos?
Get our own nachos? But they won't... Those are nachos. Fuck me. Yeah, you know what? I think, we're starting to talk about food. Maybe we should go get some food and let these people, these kind of old people, get their foods too, unless they're eating and listening
old people?
to us.
Well, senior citizens who've been listening to us, we appreciate it. We hope you don't die before the next episode.
Just gonna say that, make sure you write us in your will, okay? We love you.
Thanks for watching. If you want to leave questions, feel free. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for hanging out, Gamerpixie.
No problem. Bye, loves. Bye. That was a good episode.